Guess what day it is? Gabriel Wednesday. Today, homeschool. This is public school, which I pick of the day. So, let's start off some basics. Some little bit of history class here. I was homeschooled all the way up to the 9th grade, so I was homeschooled for quite a few years. So I think I'm considered an expert on homeschooling, don't you think? So, let's just start there. So, I'm going to run the daily routine for you and tell you how to do. Boom. You wake up, and it's around about 9 o'clock. You force yourself to get out of bed and go on with your day. And so you come downstairs, you do the motherly chores that your mother wants me to do. And then, if you're lucky, you go to homeschool groups. Which homeschool groups, this is how it works. You can either go to sports, you can go to different crafts like cooking and computers and like all this stuff that you normally would have classes about in the public school. Or you, if it's not one of those days, you stay home and you you pretty much do either one of 3 things. First thing, if you are in digital school, you go on your computer and do your classes, which I never got to do because I was fancy enough not to have to do that, so yay. Second, either your parents teach you or you have a tutor come in, or what I did was I had Ace Paces, which is booklets and videos and a bunch of other stuff, which is a really good system. It's a great system. You get about 12 books for each subject, and they're each about 40 to 48 pages each, which is really simple, so you get 1.5 done toward each month. And I was lucky enough to be one of the smart kids who was just like, you know what? Why wait to do schoolwork tomorrow? Because I don't feel like doing anything. But I could just do it today and get it done with and over with, and maybe even have school done early. So that's what I did. I got about 2 days of work done in 1 day. And then you go to your mother, or your father, or your tutor, or whoever is in charge of the whole entire thing. And you're like, hey, I finished the day. Can I go do this, or can you go to the library? There's so many library books. That's pretty much all you do. Just go to the library and read. It's wonderful. I loved it. Got done with school around either on a good day, 12 o'clock, a bad day, 4. Depending on the subject that you were doing. There were a lot of field trips, which was really, really nice. We claim that we don't have any school days, but I was one of the lucky homeschoolers. And whenever my dad, who was a public school teacher, had off, we got the day off too. So, yes, homeschoolers can have snow days, even though we don't have to go anywhere. So, that was homeschool, which was wonderful. And you think that you don't have any friends or you don't get socialization, which you do, because you go to homeschool groups, and if you don't, then you usually have a pretty big family, so you get to be friends with your family. So I had 5 other siblings to live with, so they were pretty much my friends for up until 9th grade, which they still are. They're still amazing friends to me and everything, so you get along a lot better than most families do. So that's how that works. And then a public school. Big difference. Think about homeschool, as everything's innocent and easy, and you learn what your parents want you to learn, which was, in my case, about, Christianity, and, they wanted to really enforce their religion on us. Well, not force it, we believe in it, because, that's how we were raised, and, it goes beyond that, and I can go in a whole detail in another video about that and how that works. But not today, because that's going to take forever. So, public school, there's a lot more worldly things in it, like people talk about doing drugs and sex and, the whole shabam that most of you probably know. I'll admit, it was a little bit harder making friends in public school than was homeschool. I was really shy at first, which it was just because the first day someone came up to me and asked me if I was a virgin. And me being my virgin little mind and still not really comprehending what virgin was, and not really knowing that much about sex yet, I was like, sure? And I think actually the first time I said no but then I started thinking about like the Virgin Mary and stuff, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm still a virgin. So, yeah, that happened. Another thing is that, you know, with public school you have a set time. You go from 7:50 until 2:20 or something. That's what my schedule was. And you get up earlier, which I am not a morning person, which my mom would hate for me to say, but it's true. I'm not a morning person. But that's just how things are. You know, I don't like getting up early. I hate it with a passion. I'd rather just sleep in my bed and lie and just stay there. But whatever. So I had to get up, and I did. And it was a good experience. You know, it really opens your eyes towards things, and it's just, you know, you learn more about the world. I guess it was harder for me because I realized this, you know, nothing was ever going to be as good as before homeschool, because, you know, or before public school and going there, because, you know, everything was innocent and nice and pretty, and the world was full of rainbows and stuff. I knew the world was broken, but you just don't realize how, you know, how things really are until you go into public school, which even then it's still not the real world, apparently, according to adults, which I'll get into in another video. But if I had to pick between one or the other, I'd have to say both, because I really enjoyed both a lot. I did happen to make friends. I made some great relationships with that. There's, from the learning aspect of it, I say I probably learned more in homeschool than I did public school, just because there was no distractions besides, you know, just books, which wasn't really that much of a distraction to me, because that's mostly how I spent all my time, was just reading books and loving books, and now I don't have as much time to do that anymore, because, you know, now we have a set time from this time to that time. I really do enjoy both. I like how in public school you guys have more diverse classes and more of a wider range of things, which is really nice. I would have to say that if I could have gone back, I probably would have told my younger self that you need to, you know, talk to your parents about stuff more. You need to learn to take tests, because tests were really easy in homeschool. They were like the breeze. Public school is a little bit more challenging, a little bit more preparing for college, which is good. I mean, it's very important for you to learn for college. But overall, I think it's a great thing to do both. Either whatever you do, just you gotta enjoy while you still have it. That's the main thing. Enjoy it. You know, this is one of the times where your main job is to do well in school. That's it. That's all that's expected of you, besides maybe a little bit of chores. But if I had to choose one, if I absolutely had to choose one, I think I'd probably choose homeschooling, because it's a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit easier, because, you know, you can have one-on-one time with your teacher, your tutor, or, you know, you can go to your parents and ask them about it, and they understand and, you know, try and explain it to you. Also, the fact that I got to read a lot more, and now I don't get to choose what I read or anymore. And plus, like, you know, the thing about that, though, is if I did stay in homeschool, I wouldn't have been open to this big, vast world and to see for what it is and how it is. It's not all bad. There's tons of good opened up to me that I realized was just amazing and wonderful, and I loved it. I don't regret any of it. I mean, that was perfect. It was the perfect amount of both, and I'm graduating this year, which is really exciting, and I'm ready to move on and go into college, and I can do a video about college, which would be fun. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me for today's video of For Real Wednesday, and I will see you guys on Fiction Friday. Bye!